Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 16. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout.
What the Lord say?
For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout.
Right, so all this, damn being confounded, saying that the Lord is a so-called white man, and you're gonna know what the Lord looks like in the day that he returns, man. When he descends from the heavens with a shout. Right, he's gonna crack the firmament, it's gonna be a loud sound, and everybody gonna see what the Lord look like. He ain't gonna come out looking like this, man. He don't come out looking like a so-called black man like these brothers was teaching you on the corners every single day, man. Right, you read it?
With the voice of the archangel and with the trump of God,
Right.
and the dead in Christ shall rise first.
Right, and the dead in Christ gonna rise first, man. Right, let's go to the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, and verse number 1. Right? Because we tired of our people being out here confounded, man. Right? And two sisters and an Edomite just all got confounded on what the Lord looked like, man. Right? Because they didn't want to listen to brothers. Right? They didn't want to hear what we had to say, and they just want to be stuck with the ideologies that they was given, man, and be confounded with all these graven images that they worship. Right? You read it?
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 and verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labor. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fears. They shall be troubled with terrible fears.
And they're going to be troubled with terrible fears, man, because they get to see, right, the greatness of our salvation, man. They get to see that the Lord ain't coming back with hugs and kisses, man. You're not coming back to them comfort you like a so-called white man. You got a question? No. Right? We didn't ask you. Right? Keep reading.
When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear,
Right.
and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation.
Right? They're going to be amazed at the strangeness of the salvation of the so-called black man, the so-called Hispanic man, the so-called Native American man. Right? They're going to get surprised at the salvation of the men that they call bums, the men that they call damn drug dealers, damn murderers, gangbangers. They're going to be strange. They're going to be strange. They're going to be amazed at their salvation. Right? You got a question?
I got no question. Right. You have an answer?
Yeah, I got an answer. You're an Edomite, and the Lord is going to come back and chop your head off. Right? Let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 63, and verse number 1. Right? And these Edomites, they try to get tough with you, man. Yeah, you know we racist, man. Right? They try to get damn tough with you and think you're not going to answer. Right? I asked him if he got a question. Do you got an answer? Right? Yeah, I got an answer. The Lord is going to kill all you Edomites, man. The Lord is going to kill and chop down the whole America, man, the whole Babylon the Great. Right? If you're not going to come over here and talk to us, stop looking, man. Right? Keep reading.
It's Isaiah chapter 63 and verse 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom
Right.
with dyed garments from
What?
with dyed garments from Basra?
Right?
This that is inglorious in his apparel,
Right.
traveling in the greatness of his strength.
Right.
I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save.
Right? So the Lord is going to come back with dyed garments, red garments, man. Then he's going to kill a lot of people. It's going to be the slaughter of the Lord is going to be many, man. Right? Let's go to the book of Revelation, chapter 19. I want you to start at verse number 12. Right? The damn slaughter of the Lord is going to be many, man. He's going to slay many people for not repenting. Right? He's going to slay the wicked. Right? He's going to slay everybody that doesn't want to turn back to the Most High. Right? Bring this out.
Revelation chapter 19 and verse 12. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself.
Right, and nobody knows, right? The whole world, right? That's the problem, right? That's what you're just going into with the system, right? With them not knowing what the Lord looked like, right? So much more that our people don't know about the Lord. They don't know that he coming back with a sword. They don't know that he coming back to slay the wicked. They don't know any of the names of the Lord. They don't know the titles that he has. They don't know that he's wonderful, right? He's a counselor, right? He's the everlasting Father. He's the mighty God, right? They don't know these things. Because they're off, man. They're wicked. They're confounded with graven images, and they won't stop boasting themselves of the idols that they worship. Right? Keep reading.
And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood.
Dipped in what?
Dipped in blood.
Read it again.
Dipped in blood.
Right?
And his name is called the Word of God.
The word of God is the Lord Christ, man. Yahweh Shai, man. Hamashiach. Right? He's going to have a vesture dipped in blood, man. Meaning he's coming back to slay all the wicked and everybody that comes up against him, man. Right, and that's why we come out here to teach our people. And we teach them to repent. Because we tired of seeing our people in prison. We tired of seeing our brothers on the street. We tired of seeing our sisters prostituting themselves, giving themselves over to fornication. We tired of seeing homosexuals. We tired of seeing pedophilia. We tired of all the madness that come with this society. Right, it's like being in prison, man. Right, we want the Lord to take us out of prison. We want the Lord to deliver us from this strange captivity. Right, let's go to the book of Psalms 142 and verse number 1. Right, come talk to us. Why do everybody want to talk and just walk off, man? Hey, that's the fear that the so-called, these other nations have. Right? They just want to talk, and don't want to come and have a dialogue with you. Right? Because they know that anything they come up with is going to get chopped down through the spirit of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Right?
Psalms chapter 142 and verse 1. I cried unto the Lord with my voice unto the Lord did I make my supplication.
Right, and that's what our people need to get back to doing, man. They wonder why they got so many troubles every day in this society. It's because they don't cry unto the Lord, man. Right? They cry unto the so-called white man. They cry unto their teachers, unto the president, unto the police. They cry unto their fathers, their mothers. Right? They're not crying unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushua no more, man. Right? And the Lord ain't hearing their voices. Right? When they do cry, because they worshiping this so-called white man. Right? Bring this out. Keep reading.
I poured out my complaint before him.
Right.
I shewed before him my trouble.
Right? And we showing the trouble before you. Right? If you want to get out of this captivity, man, you got to show the trouble that you're going through in this society, man. Right? You got to show the trouble. You got to cry unto the Lord and complain about all the destruction that America brings. About all the damn homosexuality it brings, the fornication, the damn injustice, right? The damn respect of persons, right? All the lies, all the madness, and all the freakism in America, right? Keep reading.
When my spirit was overwhelmed within me,
Right.
then thou knewest my path.
Right.
In the way wherein I walked have they privily laid a snare for me.
Right, and they've laid snares upon our people day and night. Every single day it's a snare, man. You got all kinds of lust, all kinds of concupiscence, all kinds of hate, all kinds of anger, right? All kinds of damn ungodliness and filth in this society, man. Right, so those are all the snares that you're going to walk upon if you don't return it to the Lord, right? Keep reading.
In the way wherein I walked had they privily laid a snare for me.
Right.
I looked on my right hand and beheld, but there was no man that would know me.
Right, and it's no man to deliver us right now because we don't trust in the Lord, man. There's nobody on our side. There's nobody behind us and damn interfering for us because we don't call out to the Most High God no more. Right, keep reading.
Refuge failed me. No man cared for my soul.
Right.
I cried unto thee, O Lord.
Right.
I said, thou art my refuge and my portion in the land of the living.
reading.
Attend unto my cry,
Right.
for I am brought very low.
Right.
Deliver me from my persecutors.
He said what?
So like, deliver me from my persecutors.
Right, and that's what we got to do, man. Right, you had all these damn Edomites that just walked up here proudly, man, trying to boast against the Lord, man. Trying to talk down on us, right? Hey, the Lord is going to deliver us from all of our prosecutors, man. All these men that persecute us unjustly, man. Wrongfully, man. Right? They got all these sisters that just walked up here down not wanting to believe that the Lord was actually a so-called black man. Right? They got them worshiping the so-called white man daily. Right? While everybody out here rooting for Joe Biden or Donald Trump to win. Right? We out here rooting for the Lord to return, man. And that's the track that our people got to get back onto. Right? Keep reading.
I cried and tend unto my cry, for I am brought very low.
Right.
Deliver me from my persecutors, for they are stronger than I. Bring my soul out of
What
prison.
the Lord say?
Bring my soul out of
We
prison.
asking the Lord?
Bring my soul out of prison.
Right? Our souls are in prison right now, man. Right? Let's look. Hey, y'all got 5 seconds for the Bible. Hey, y'all brothers got 5 seconds for the Bible. Right, go to Isaiah 61, verse 1. Alright? And I want you to hold Micah chapter 5 on, but keep holding it. Right? He said, bring my soul out of prison, man. Our people's souls are in prison, man. They're captive right now, man. Right? They're captive right now to all the lust in this society, all the damn false ideologies. They're captive to everything, man. Captive to the cares of this world, man. Right? And they laid a snare for them, and now they can't get out, man. Right? It's only one way out, man. Is if you choose Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. Right? That's how you gonna overcome all your traumas. Right? All the things that happen to you in this society, it brings your soul out of prison, man. That's what the gospel truly is, man. It's not gonna tell you that you can eat pork, that you can eat shrimp, crab, lobster, fornicate in the church if you want to, have as many babies that you want to with all these different men. Right? That's not what the gospel is telling you, man. Right? Keep reading.
That I may praise thy name.
Right.
The righteous shall compass me about,
Right.
for thou shalt deal bountifully with me.
Right, I'll bring this out in Isaiah chapter 61.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 61 and verse 1. The Spirit of the Lord God is upon me,
Right.
because the Lord hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek.
Right.
He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted,
Right?
to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prisons to them that are bound.
Because all the so-called black men, Hispanic men, Native American men, and women, right, their spirits are bound to America right now. Bound to destruction because it's all this uncleanness that they're caught up in, man. Right, and that's why we come out here to teach them these things to free them of that captivity that they in, man. Right? Just like John the 8th chapter and the 32nd verse said, man. Right, our people always want to be free, but they're not trying to choose the way that's going to actually require them to change to be free, man. Right, and we watching all these destruction and plagues come upon our people because they don't want to listen to the men of the Lord. And not only the men of the Lord, they don't want to listen to the Lord speaking to them through us. Right? So let's go to the book of Micah chapter 5 and 1 now. Right? And I want you to go to Isaiah chapter 26 and verse number 16.
The book of Micah, chapter 5 and verse 5. Now, Salaki, verse 1. Now gather thyself in troops, O daughter of troops. He hath laid siege against us. They shall smite the judge of Israel with a rod upon the cheek.
Right, now, if you don't know, right, Micah the 5th chapter is a prophecy going into the birth of Yahweh Shai. Right, going into the birth of the Lord. Right, keep reading.
But thou, Bethlehem Ephrathah.
Right, just the first few verses is going into the Lord. Right, then it's going to go and talk about when we get put in power, when the Lord comes and returns, right, when he brings our salvation here. Right, keep reading.
Though thou be little among the thousands of Judah, yet out of thee shall he come forth unto me, that is to be ruler in Israel, whose goings forth have been from of old, from everlasting.
Right, and it's not talking about David, right, for you OT only. Right, it's talking about the Lord, man. His goings forth are from old and from everlasting, right? But that's not the point that we're trying to get, right? We're going to keep reading.
Therefore will he give them up until the time that she which travaileth hath brought forth.
What the Lord say?
Until the time that she which travaileth hath brought forth.
Right, so the Lord, right, the Most High, he gave us up into the hand of our enemies, man. He gave us up into all this strangeness. Right, he gave us up unto these vile affections, to this uncleanness, to this destruction, right? Because we didn't want to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. Because we wanted to hop into idolatry, man. Right? Now read the second part of that verse again. Right?
Until the time that she which travaileth hath brought forth.
Right? Until the time that she travaileth. Meaning, it's like a woman being pregnant. Right? A woman delivering that baby. Right? So we going through all the travail and all the plagues right now. All the destruction that's coming upon our people, man. Huh? Right? How you doing, brother? You believe in the Bible? Or what you know about the Bible? Chop it up with us for a second.
I believe in it has its own philosophy and stuff
Philosophy, okay.
You know, its ideologies.
Yeah.
It's not more believing in the Bible, taking the Bible as some kind of milk.
Some kind of milk?
Right, you know, something to keep you understanding God and knowing about God. You know, there's many different books that I have read. I've read the Quran, and I'm trying to read the Old Testament as well, the Torah. You know, it's when you're talking about believing in the Bible, it's not about believing in the Bible.
What you mean?
Well, as far as the Bible, that's not what I believe in. I just use that like
for knowledge.
Like when you eat cereal in a bowl, you have to have something to put in that bowl. You know, some kind of knowledge. You know, and that's what I'm looking for, that certain knowledge. But as far as believing the Bible, I would have to say, because it's not the Bible that I really believe in.
What is it that you really believe in, then?
I believe in God. I believe that God do exist, because each one of us out here is unique. We have our own uniqueness.
Right.
You know, we may be able to imitate a child or something, but that child will not be exactly like we are.
Yeah.
You know, but it's the upbringings and raisings and stuff of that nature. But as far as believing, you know, you got to believe in something.
Right.
And it's better to believe in something better than something worse. Because you got people believing in their cars, their houses, stuff of that nature. That's ridiculous.
Right, we agree. Right, but I mean, we feel like you should believe because you got historical facts in the Bible, right? That all these things that took place in real time, you know, events. When you go through the history of, you know, America, you go through the history of Rome, Greece, Babylon. When you go through all these different time periods, these things actually happen. Right?
You took theology.
I took a class sort of like that in
I
college.
studied theology.
Yeah.
The study of theology is on the biblical study, not on whether Christianity or it tells you all about these different.
It goes into like the wisdom of it.
Right. So what we talking about when we talk about what we believe in, let's make sure that we understand we first got to believe in each one of us. You're out here with a faithful, on faith.
Right.
You know, your knowledge of what is true and my knowledge of what is true is hard to believe in the world that we live in.
What do you mean that it's hard to believe in the world that we live
Because you
in?
got somebody always altering, like the history of America. It's found out that America now,
Right.
history is all lies.
Right.
All lies. But me being 59, I was raised on that
Yeah.
old history.
Right.
To find out now that history, when I went into history and in college and stuff and started studying, I found out that history has forgotten the black man. The black
Right.
man has a lot of power in history.
So I got a question. So you said something about it's all lies, right? So what would be lies in the Bible that make it not
I never
believable?
said the Bible is a lie.
What you meant then?
I said that you have to make sure that you read it
Right.
and understand so you can make sure that no one has written what they want to write in there
Yeah.
because you got an author.
Yeah.
Each one of the books are written by authors in the inspiration.
Well, and that's what we do, right? We go through the Bible, like we read it, we do the history on it, so that we know what we read is true, right? And then these things get revealed unto us, right? And it happens to be true throughout the
Correct.
history,
Right.
right? And through the Holy Spirit being given to us,
That is
right?
correct.
So we that's how we know that the Bible is true, right? We see it through we got prophecies, right? That it came to pass on our people, even stuff that you saying, right? On lies being told, right? All that stuff is talked about in the Bible,
What is your adaptation?
right? What do you mean?
When I say your adaptation, let's put the Bible to the side for a moment. And let's say what we know about God without, say it wasn't no Bible.
It's in Job.
You know,
Because
everybody say that, but what about with Abraham, Moses, and all that? There was no such thing as the Bible.
Yeah,
What was their
right?
adaptation?
So during that time, right, they had things worldly passed down unto them, right? But that doesn't mean that the Bible isn't true.
No.
Right?
I
doesn't-
didn't say that.
So you had commandments that was orally brought down unto them, right? So that they could know how to conduct
Correct.
themselves, men and women on the earth.
Right.
Right? But without these commandments, those commandments are still given to them by the
Amen.
Most High. Right? But that doesn't mean, right? And it's the same commandments that was orally passed down to them. Right? Once the children of Israel became a nation and they came out of Egypt, it was put down by the finger of God, right? Onto tablets through Moses, right? So
I
that they
have
could
no
have
argument with you
yeah,
on-
so that
on
they could
any
have
of
these
that.
instructions, right? And throughout the process of time, you had the prophets, the prophets being taught. Right? Give me Sirach 10 and 5, right? You had the prophets, they was getting things scribed for them, like Jeremiah, right? He had somebody named Baruch that scribed for him, wrote down all the prophecies that he had visions of, right? And all the issues that he was going through while he was in captivity to the Babylonians, right? So let's bring this out real quick because we just want to touch on a point, right? That you made, that you said that it's all been lies in America and other time periods, right? That's true. Right, just like the Dark Ages, right? They don't tell you that the so-called black man was ruling during the Dark Ages, that they were in the cave, and they were at the bottom,
King Musa.
right? Yeah, right. You read it.
It's the book of Job, chapter 13 and verse 4.
Bring it out.
But ye are forgers of lies.
He said what?
But ye are forgers of lies.
Right.
Ye are all physicians of no value.
Right. So the so-called white man, right? The Bible prophesies through Job, right? That the so-called white man, right? He's a forger of lies. Meaning he's always bringing forth lies, right? He's always deceiving the nation, right? He's always deceiving people and getting them to believe in things that isn't true, right? Let's go to the book of Revelation chapter 12 and verse number 9, I want to say, right? It said that they should deceive the nations.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out.
Right, so the great dragon will actually be known as the so-called white man. Right, so when you read the beginning of the chapter, right, the great dragon it started off as Herod, the great red dragon. Right, he was known to that in the Bible, right? He used similitudes, he used dark sayings, right? It's not going to directly just say things all the time. Right, but this great dragon, right, he was coming out, right, to try to destroy Christ before he was born. Right, and then this great dragon ends up becoming the Roman Empire, and it's known as the so-called white man because America descends from the Roman Empire. Right, so this Roman Empire, this great red dragon, it came out to deceive the nation. Right, keep reading.
That old serpent called the devil,
Called the what?
called the devil
Right.
and Satan,
Right.
which deceiveth the whole world.
He said what?
Which deceiveth the whole world.
Everything. That's what we don't disagree with what you're saying. Right? Obviously, because we believe in the Bible in its full totality, and we want you to understand that you're an Israelite, right? We're going to kind of lean more towards the Bible and history, right? But it said that the so-called white man, he deceived the whole world, right? He destroyed the nation, right? He has everybody believing in lies, like this lie right here, right? Since I know you're a wise brother and you read the Bible before, you know that Christ wouldn't actually look like that then. Right. He would look more like you. He would look more like
If you lived in a sunny place where it's heat all the time,
he gonna be a lot darker. Right.
That's common sense.
Yeah.
I'm 59 years old. That one can't pull over my eyes.
Right.
You know, just like Santa Claus.
Right.
That's something my father would
Yeah.
allow us, even when we was kids, to believe in.
Yeah, all praise. In the Bible, right? Jeremiah, since we were speaking on it before, he actually goes into Christmas, right? When you read Jeremiah the 10th chapter, right? So this so-called white man, right? He done deceived you to believe that Christ's birthday is on Christmas, and all these different lies, right? And that's what pushes
Year
our
of
people,
harvest.
right? And that's what pushes our people farther and farther away from the belief of the Bible. And this is actually their history. This is actually their heritage, right? The things that they're supposed to conduct the Black and Hispanic and Native American communities with to help them get better, right? Because ever since we departed from the Bible in its full totality, we've been destroyed as a nation. All right, let's bring this out in Jeremiah chapter 17 and 4, right? I want to get this point though in Sirach. Right, bring that out, 10 and 5.
Sirach chapter 10 and verse 5. In the hand of God is the prosperity of man.
Right, so in the hand of God is the prosperity of man. So he causes man to do whatever the Most High's will is. Right, keep reading.
And upon the person of the scribe
Upon what?
upon the person of the scribe shall he lay his honor.
Right, so upon the person of the scribe, meaning these certain men, right, that he causes to write these things down and copy these things to give it to us, right, so that we can read it, we can go through the history, right, we get the understanding and the wisdom behind it, and now we know how to move as a people, right? But let's bring this out. You got anything you want to say?
No, I'm listening. I'm listening.
All right, bring this out in Jeremiah.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage.
Right, so the Lord put the spirit on the brother Jeremiah, right, to prophesy to our people that during that time they was going to discontinue from their heritage. They was going to go into the hand of the Babylonians, discontinue from their laws, statutes, and commandments, all of their history, right, and go into the hands of their enemies. Right, he caused Baruch to scribe this. Right, and this is also a prophecy, right, because our people, right, everybody knows America is Babylon the Great. Right, everybody knows it. Right, so the same thing that happened to us in Babylon, it happened to us when we came into America. We got discontinued from all of our heritage. And now all the heritage that we know, because you said, you know, your father never had you doing Christmas, and that's given to us by the so-called white man. We discontinued our holidays, our feast days, and we started to follow everything that they did. Right, you read it?
It says, that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies.
He said what?
And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies.
Right.
In a land which thou knowest not.
Right, because before us coming to America, we didn't know about America. So he caused us to serve our enemies in a land that we never had known. Right? Now these are the things that are written in the Bible, right, that we went through history, right? And we read it, we took the notes down on these things, we meditated on these things, right? And these things, it can never be denied. Right, let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse number 68 real quick. Right, whoever get there first. Right?
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Right, he said the Lord was going to bring us into Egypt again. And this word Egypt, right, he had just, I know you pretty sure you know, right, when they had came out of, you know, during the Torah, right, during that time, right, they had just came out of Egypt. Right, so he wasn't talking about literal Egypt. He said he was going to bring them into Egypt again. Right, this word is synonymous for bondage, slavery, captivity. Right, let's go to the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 1, and verse number 7. All right, 2 Ezra 1 and 7.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 1 and verse 7. Am not I even he that brought them out of the land of Egypt,
Right.
from the house of bondage?
From the what?
From the house of bondage.
Right, so it's known as bondage, right? In a lot of cases, right, you read throughout the Bible, it's always getting referred to as the house of bondage. Right, so he was going to bring us into bondage again. Now, knowing that you're a wise brother, right, how did the so-called black man get into America?
Through the Portuguese,
Right? But what kind of transportation did he took?
slavery, in the boat, ship.
Let's see what the Bible says.
And he died.
And the Lord shall bring thee into slavery again with ships.
What?
With ships.
Right?
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Right? And this is why we subscribe to the Bible, right? Because we know, us as a people, right, we're the ones that came into slavery on ships. Right? You don't have too many nations that got taken out of their land, they lost their heritage, right? Because we know that the so-called white man, they know their heritage still. The so-called Asian man knows his heritage. The Palestinians know their heritage still.
You don't even know our language.
We don't know nothing. We got so-called white man last names and all their customs, right? Everything has been stripped from us, right? And these things have constantly been prophesied throughout the Bible, right? This is why we try to compel our people to return to the Bible. Because you would say Right? You would say our people are pretty lost out here nowadays. Like when it comes to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we're the majority.
Spiritually, yeah.
Okay.
Fleshly, no.
I would say fleshly as well, right? Because you know, like things like homosexuality. I know you wouldn't support things like that. Homosexuality, prostitution, right? A lot of fornication. Another man might, you know, pop in somebody else's wife, right? So we'll say, you know, fleshly as well, because this also goes into flesh. Worshiping false God will be going after strange flesh as well, right? So we would say that spiritually and physically, our people, you know, they're lost. Right, for the majority, right? When you deal with the younger generation, and a lot of times when you deal with just the older generation. So most of our people are lost because of all the lies that they've been told, and they've grown accustomed to it, and it makes you not want to change because you don't want to change to something that you're not comfortable with, right?
Influential.
You said something?
Influential.
Yeah, it's influential, right? You read it?
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemy.
Right, and who do we get sold to when we came in, when we got off the boat? The so-called white man. So the Bible is always prophesying and telling us how we're going to be living, right, throughout history, right? So throughout all these captivities, right, we done been into slavery, we done got sold to our enemies, we done got raped, robbed, murdered, and all these things that happened to us, we got wrongfully killed, right? It's Christ himself, right, he was unjustly murdered. Right, just like the so-called black man could get today by the government officials, right, by the police, right, by the judges, right, they get wrongfully put to death, just like Christ. Right, so these are the same traits that our people are constantly going through to this day. Right, keep reading.
For bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy.
Right, meaning no man is going to be able to redeem you out of this captivity, because you don't have Dr. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, you know, the Black Panthers, etc. Right, all these men that try to, you know, help us and get us, you know, free from our enemies, but it goes to no prevail, right? Because they're not doing it. Thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Holy Bible. So that's why we try to compel our people to believe this thing, right? And we just come out here to tell them that they will actually be the so-called Israelites that the Bible speaks of, right? And that they fit the curses, and they fit the his history that comes with it, right? So you got anything you want to say?
No, go ahead.
All right, let's go to the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 22.
The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 11 and verse 22. Are they Hebrews?
Right.
So am I.
Right.
Are they Israelites?
Right.
So am I.
Right, so throughout this time that we dialogue, we're going to continue to show you that you would actually be an Israelite, right, and not just some black man or African American man, right, and that we want you to compel you to come back to your God, right, keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, and know that your Lord is a so-called black man. Know who even his thing is, right? So go to Sirach chapter 17 and verse number 11. Sirach 24 and 23, right? Because we know that when we just read Jeremiah 17 and verse 4, it said they would discontinue from their heritage. Right, so this heritage, right, what is a heritage? Right, what would you say heritage is?
It's a group of people through time. Ancestry.
Yeah, ancestry, things that get passed down unto you, stuff like that, like an inheritance, right? Can you read something?
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 24 and verse 23. All these things are the book of the covenant of the Most High God, even the law which Moses commanded for inheritance unto the congregation of Jacob.
Right, so when you deal with this entire book, right, it's not just a book of wisdom for the entire world, right? It's a book, right, that has our heritage in it that our people need to follow if they want to get out of captivity, if they want to get salvation, right, get free from the hand of their enemies. Right, go to the book of Luke chapter 1 and verse number 68, right? Because you would say we're in the hand of our enemies right now. We're subject to everything in this country, right? Right, let's bring this up.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 1 and verse 68. Blessed be the Lord God of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people, and hath raised up a horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began.
Right, so since the world began, the prophets have been prophesying about a horn of salvation, which is Christ, to save Israel, right, in the last days. Right, you read it?
That we should be saved from our enemies,
right,
and from the hand of all those that hate us.
Right, because what's some things that the so-called white man, America as a whole, produces for our people? Because it said we're going to get saved from the hand of our enemies and all the hands of them that hate us. right? The things, right? If they hate us, right, that means they gotta be destroying. Right? If they're enemies to us, that means they gotta be producing bad things to try to destroy us, right? So what would you say some things that America produces that so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American men and women and children need to be saved from in America?
Preservatives, for one. You know, I grew up on natural stuff. Everything we cook was scratch. Today it's hard to find different things on scratch. You know, so preservatives, canned foods, a lot of that stuff that causes us cancer. I see a lot more Black kidney problems. You know, so you know they're making us drink a lot of Kool-Aids and stuff like that. Stuff that we wasn't allowed to do when I was young. You know, today they feel because they got this certain freedom that they can do anything they want to, and when they do what they want to, they decide to do what the European doing instead of doing what we used to do in the '70s, Black Power. You know, we were more into being about ourselves, not to fight against anyone, but to bring ourselves together in the '70s. You know, Black Stones, Black Panther, all these things were designed for us to become our own nation. You know, but when they saw that we were coming together like that, that's when they started the police brutality from 1961 to 1969. Right, you know, Vine Street, most of your aunties, your uncles, your grandfathers and stuff like that were beat by police right there on 3rd and Vine and 4th and Vine for 9 years. They beat women and dragged women just because of trying to cross onto the viaduct on the south side. So there's many things right here. A lot of Black men got hung where they do the jazz festival. They hung Black men right there. They Joseph, whatever his name is, Joseph, the one that you see on that concrete. He was the one that got hung, and he did nothing wrong. So yeah, right here, this is one of the 3rd president cities in the United States. Just knowing that, and we're not just talking Black and white. We're talking many different kind of race. You know, so as far as all the things I would say is more of our knowledge, because when I was growing up, we used to have a college, the Black Negro College used to come over and say the mind is a terrible thing to waste. We're not being fed these things anymore. We're not being fed the knowledge. So a lot of the Black kids now today feel school is not worth it. I struggled to go to college. I struggled. And I wanted to go to college not to prove it to anybody, because I wanted to show that I can be of a higher level. You know, so I tell my children, I have 7 children, four daughters and 3 sons. My 4 daughters are nurses and stuff of that nature because I went to college. So my influential was not to influence them on a low level, but to bring them up on a higher level. So there'll be a family-oriented. Family is gone. You know, Black people families in the 60s and 70s, we were close-knit. I could be over here in the 70s, and the police would pull up and say, "Why are you here?" You think I'm lying? Right here in Milwaukee. I live in the 70s. I was standing here. You were standing here. We would have to break this up. I'm not lying to you. Right here in Milwaukee.
We believe everything you say.
You know, that's when Harold Breyer was the police chief and Mayor Meyer was the mayor. They had put it out in many words that contained them at all costs. And that was the word. And they did what they best they did. They cut down all the trees in our neighborhood because they didn't want us to climb in trees and be able to fight them. So they cut down a lot of the trees in the Black neighborhood in the 70s. And people wonder why they cut all those trees down. Because when we was fighting the police and stuff, we had to climb trees and stuff like that to fight them. You know, these are things you can go on YouTube and they're right there. I gotta go. My woman's waiting on me. But God bless. My name is Lawrence Harris. You know, in 1989.
Right, you an Israelite. Remember that.
Amen.
Right, all praise to the Most High. Right, to the brother, you know, he was talking, man. Right, he knows that the so-called white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. Right, through all the oppression that they done put up on our people. It's time, right. Right, with that, we're gonna give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh. Shalom, Mashiach, Yahweh Shai. Boom, Yashua.